Okay, afternoon everybody, I trust you're all well. Today we're just going to have a look at some basic algebra that will come in useful for when you do your electrical and mechanical work next week. So we're just going to start with some basic ideas. You'll probably remember if you've got 4 apples and 3 apples and you add them together, you've got 7 apples. Well, the same applies in algebra. You could say instead of having 3 apples, you could say I've got 3 A's plus, say, 4 A's. And that gives me 4, 5, 6, 7, 7A. Now, instead of apples, we can call these letters A, we call them variables. The reason why we call them variables in engineering is because they can go up and down depending on the value of this number in front of them. So they can vary. If I introduce another letter, say bananas, I've got 5 bananas plus 6 bananas plus 2 apples plus 3 apples. I can simplify that, and that becomes 5 bananas, 6 bananas is 11 bananas, 2 apples and 3 apples is 5 apples. If I've got 5 bananas and 2 apples in a bowl, and I take away 5 bananas, I'm left with 2 apples. So the same works with a plus or a minus. Now, one thing you've got to remember in maths, particularly in algebra, is that this term here on the end, just because there isn't a sign in front of it doesn't mean it's negative or positive. You've got to make sure it is effectively a positive. So that 5 bananas is a positive. Always remember that. Because when you come to taking it over to the other side later on, you have to change that sign to a minus sign when we change it later on. Right, so if I have an apple and 2 something else's, I won't give them any number, I'll just say what that is. It's just a variable, and if that was equal to 6 and I wanted to find out what the value of A was, I have to take this, I have to get A on its own, and I have to get rid of this plus 2 here. The rule you need to remember is change side, change sign. Now there's a little plus in front of there, as we just said, and I want to get this 2 over to the other side. So I have to just take it over there, but I have to change this sign to a minus. So it becomes A equals 6, which we've already got, take the 2 over, minus 2, so A becomes 4. Okay, any questions at the back? This is the problem with video conferencing, video lessons. I don't know what's happening in the audience. Okay, so instead of A's and B's and C's, we're going to start using X's and Y's. So if I have, say, X, let's have this one, X plus 7 plus 2 equals 5. How do I find X? Well, X equals, I've got 5 from that side, I'm going to take the 7 and the 2 over to the other side. So the plus 7 becomes minus 7 and the plus 2 becomes minus 2. So X now becomes 5 take away 7, is minus 2, and take away another minus 2, I get minus 4. So that's the answer to that one. Let's try another one. If I've got x plus y minus 6 equals 5, and I say find y, I'm asking you to find y in terms of everything else, then I want to get this y on its own. So I've got to get this x and this minus 6 onto the other side. So y equals, there's your 5 from the start. I take the x over, that becomes minus x. And I take the 6 over, and that becomes plus 6. Okay. Now, I can simplify that even further by saying y equals, I've got a 6 and a 5 there. Don't forget that's a plus 5 there. So it's a 6 and a 5 is 11. So I can say that that's 11 minus x, and that's your sort of final answer on that one. Okay, I'm happy with that. If not, you can always wind it back, as they say. Right, now following on from yesterday's transposition of formula, where you had to divide by various numbers, if you look at this formula, 5x equals 7 plus 6. Well, we've got an x here and we've got 5 x's here, and I'm trying to find x. So this is what I'm trying to find now, x. So to find x, I have to divide this side by 5 and they cancel out. But whatever you do to one side of an equation, you have to do to the other side. So I have to divide this side by 5 as well. 7 and 6 is 13. So that becomes 13 over 5. And if you get your calculator out, that becomes 2.6. Okay. Everyone happy with that? Okay, well I'll give you some examples now for you to have a go at, and then I'll give you the answers tomorrow morning. And tomorrow we'll do a final bit of maths, which covers a little bit of trigonometry that you might need for your mechanics. So if you have a go at these, you probably want to freeze the frame to have a look at them. Do them one at a time, don't write them all out. But the examples that I've written before, if anything I write down on these bits of paper, it's probably a good idea if you make a note of them yourself in your own notes. I'll just adjust that so you've got the change side. Don't forget change side, change side. So there's 10 there, 10 examples there. There you go. Have a go at that. See you tomorrow. Bye.